You're listening to It's On Us podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, and rate our show. And we are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Facebook, and YouTube. So please remember all that and enjoy the episode.
Okay, all right. At least you got it this time. There you go, Bucko.
There you go.
Bucko.
Bucko.
All right, so I got a question real quick.
For who?
Anybody who wants to
Okay.
answer this, okay? So how would you define luxury? What is luxury to you?
Good question. Luxury. You know what? Luxury to me would be stuff that, unfortunately that you buy, so it's somewhat materialistic, but stuff that grows with value. Even if it's sentimental value too, it could be emotional. So that's a luxury item. It doesn't have to be, something wealthy.
Even
so anything that just grows in value, whether it's through emotion or actual wealth.
And I think it's above basic. So it's like there's basic or like normal, and then there's luxury where it's
Like something that's one of one, that to me is luxury. I would want to buy that and keep it.
Because this is different. Okay,
Yeah.
I get that. Jacob, in your mind, what is luxury to you?
I'm 1 of 1, so am I luxury?
Kinda.
Sure,
That's
Jacob.
debatable.
Sometimes
Sure.
I want to throw you off a
But,
cliff, but then you
I
shake
mean-
like, oh, I got a wish for you, and I just keep you because I hope that
Aw.
this wish will come true someday.
But no, in all seriousness, like you could look at luxury several different things. You could look at luxury of having a nice ass car, or you could look at luxury of having Wi-Fi
having
in
a
your
fucking
house.
toilet or water or
You know what I mean. Some people don't have Wi-Fi. Sometimes it's by choice, or sometimes they can't afford it. So the things that we look at simple, like oh shit, we got Wi-Fi, we got the smart TV and shit. Shit, people are lucky to have that little digital converter for their TV so they can pick up basic channels and shit. So
That's a luxury.
luxury is all through the eyes of who has it and who doesn't have it.
So it's in the eye of the beholder. So it's
Yeah.
more on the
Yeah,
individual,
I was gonna
you would say. I don't know. I guess for
wow,
me,
Jacob. That
Yeah.
was nice. That was a good.
the
that was
marijuana is working for me. So no, for luxury for me, I would say it's like more of a place of peace
Right.
where
Having
stress,
that peace of mind.
yeah, and stress no longer exists, and it's like that's a luxury to have like a peace of mind
Yeah.
versus just a material type of thing. But like you said, everybody's different though. So
You like that? Yeah.
I like that though. Yeah. So today on the podcast we have the Glizzy Guzzler.
Hello. Whoa, I went first this time? Oh shit.
All right, no, we're starting over. No.
See, you always mess it up. We
See?
always try to be nice to you, and then you question why we're being nice.
That's why I
And
cut
then
you
we're
off
forced
that
to
one
be mean.
episode.
It's like he
See?
doesn't believe that we want to be nice to you.
All right.
All right, so you want to bring us in now?
Now you can.
Hey guys, welcome to an episode of It's On Us. I am Ash. Here today I have Gabe,
How you doing, everybody?
my man Cliff,
Hey,
my boy John,
What's going on?
our special guest today, Josh,
Hello.
and
The Glizzy Guzzler.
okay. So, see, I didn't say it. You said
Yeah,
it.
you
So.
said it.
Because
Wow.
I whatever.
I like that.
It was expected, I guess.
he embraced
Psychology. Yeah, psychology.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Jacob,
Yeah.
who are you?
Yeah.
The Glizzy Guzzler. There you go, Jacob. Good.
Yeah, I give you a treat or something, man.
Or the Henny Waster.
Yep.
There you go.
Depending on the day.
All right, so Jacob, you wanna
What?
expound on what you have on the screen for us?
All right, so it's on this podcast. We like to have inclusion. We believe inclusion. We believe in love is love. So with June being Pride Month, we have a special guest for us. Josh, would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. My name is Joshua Younker. I am a trans man, and I also own a local pop-up shop right now, restaurant. It's called Jay's Waffle Iron, and I was asked to come on the show with these lovely gentlemen today.
and it's so nice to have you.
Pleasure to have you. Pleasure to have you. Okay,
Pleasure.
so Jacob, we have a list of questions just to, get some depth into like.
Just to have those type of conversations that
Right.
we made a pact to when we first started this. Let's be different. Let's have those conversations that people don't usually have. So that's what led us here today.
And bring transparency to our audience and people out there.
Exactly.
Right. So the name It's On Us is literally like our podcast and a statement because it is on us to create the change we wish to see. So today we have a list of questions. So the first question we have is what the transition from who you were to who you are. So for you, Josh, what took you to that space of like who you used to be to who you are today?
Well, I started my journey transitioning when I was about 20, and I've always growing up. I was always kind of different to begin with. Life was always it wasn't hard, it was easy and stuff. I didn't have a crazy background or anything, but I always felt just a little different. But I couldn't really put my finger on it. Like growing up, like I was always more one of the guys. I wasn't one to wear makeup or anything like that. Like I wore a dress it probably sounds weird, my voice so deep, but I'm about to be like, I wore a dress, but it's right.
In the space we're in now, it's normal now. So
Right. But I used to wear, like a dress for like dances, like homecoming, stuff like that. I did date men back in the day and stuff like that. It wasn't until after I graduated high school and I started like venturing out into the real world, and I found myself into the LGBT community. I made some friends at a job that I worked at, and I guess you would say kind of started experimenting or whatever, and realized that I liked women, and so I started dating women. And I went out to a couple bars, and I started meeting trans men, and I started meeting trans women and drag queens, and just getting into this whole new world. And it was crazy. It was like eye opening, and it was pretty intense. And once I met my friend, who I'm still friends with today, I'm gonna leave their name out of it though, because they live stealth. So, but they started talking to me about their transitioning. They were already on hormones and stuff like that. And I was like, I didn't even know this was like people feel like this. Like, this is kind of how I felt, but I didn't know that was a thing. I thought I was kind of crazy, like I'm not gonna lie to you. I am bipolar, so I take medicine and stuff. So I've been on meds most of my life. And so I started reading more about it and talking to more trans men and becoming more familiar with the terms and the process. And I guess the biggest leap was I moved to Florida. So I wanted to get away from everything here, my family, my friends, influences, everything. I moved to Florida with, it was a girlfriend at the time, a close friend that I'm still friends with today. And I was like, I want to live male in another state, and I want to be away from everybody. I want to just see, like, can I do this? Can I do it with support? Do I need support? How's it going to be? And so I lived in Florida for about a year, and I binded. I went by Joshua, also went by Trey for a little bit. Just trying to find like the name that fit, and told everyone, I prefer he and him as my pronouns. And then about a year, I realized like I wanted to go back home. I wanted to actually really start the journey, and so that required therapy. I wanted to tell my family. I wanted to tell my friends. So, but I wanted to do it in person. I didn't want to do it over the phone or anything like that. Right. So I went back home. I told my mom first. That was a fun conversation. She was like, "Wait, what?" Because like my family never, they didn't really understand or like know most of the terms or anything like that. But she ended up being accepting. It was my grandparents and some of the older people that, or some of my uncles and stuff like that didn't really grasp it too well. But some of my friends too, they were like, "Oh, this is a phase. Like you're just going through some phase." Because I've always been pretty spontaneous and things like that. I'm like, nah. Like,
this might be a thing.
But
no, this is the real deal right here.
It felt right to you though, and you you went out, you explored the world, and you got comfortable being uncomfortable, and you found out who you were,
right?
And you found a community that accepts you for who you are. So for a lot of people, it's hard for them to just accept that fact that like I'm different. I know I'm different, but I shouldn't listen to society's norms. Right. I should be who I am, regardless of whoever thinks.
And to me, that's like a graduation of humanity, if you ask me, because a lot of people submit to societal standards and they can't find the power to live their truth. You know what I mean? So I'm really proud of you, and that's awesome that you went out and found that, because a lot of people are too scared to go do that.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, telling my family was kind of nerve-wracking. Like my family's they're understanding, but they're kind of crazy. They're great. They love my family. They're just kind of crazy.
Bro. Me and Jacob are related.
That's every family,
right?
Bro.
And how long have you been a T now? Like,
let's see, 21. So 10. It'll be 11 years coming up in October.
11 years coming up. Nice.
Yeah,
nice,
11
nice.
years.
And how long have you been fully transitioned from female to male?
So they usually consider it when you start your hormones, and then they'll go even more in depth for when you start having your surgeries. You have your top surgery, your bottom surgery, and stuff like that.
Okay.
I just recently had top surgery. It's actually, in 2 days, it'll be a year that I've had my top surgery.
Well, I want to say congratulations. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
On your 1 year anniversary coming up.
So that's probably one of the biggest milestones for people that transition, for at least like female to male, that decide that they want to go through and have the top surgery, and I waited 10 years. So like most people, it's like a year, 2 years. I'm like, I got time.
But it is like a big leap because like you're more and more progressively fully accepting this is who I am. I'm gonna embrace this regardless, open arms, and just welcome that wave of energy. So that's awesome for sure.
It's tough for trans people to get surgeries because a lot of them is not covered, and so like one of my issues with getting it, why I had to wait so long, was money. A lot of people run. I did fundraisers. Some people do GoFunds. Some people get lucky and they find some insurance depending where they live in the United States. Like I know like there's some places in Cali that cover it and things like that. So some places will cover it or a portion of it. But getting help with surgeries and hormone replacement therapy is probably like the hardest thing that trans people have to face. It's progressively getting better, and like,
that's good.
Yeah, but it when I first started, I remember trying to get my T like covered and stuff was tough.
So how much roughly do you think you spent money wise on it then?
Oh my god. Well, my surgery alone was $7,000, and then I'll be taking hormones for until I pretty much foreseeable future. So, and I spend about like $120 a month on hormones. So I've been doing that for 11 years. The price fluctuates though. Sometimes it changes.
That's amazing. So Jacob, listen, so you can get your boobs bigger if you wanted to, bro. It's possible. Or smaller, whatever you prefer.
My fiance and I always joke to do a 2-for-1. Like, all right, I'll take mine off, and you take it. You want to have that? You can have it. Just put that on there.
I can give you more than just my love, okay?
Right. So have you experienced like any different social norms from like, you know, from when you were a female now that you're a male? Is there anything different that you see, or like even through conversations and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. I've worked in the restaurant industry the whole time, and I would say that I was a line cook, being in the back of the house, female versus male, yeah, very, very different. Very, very different. The conversations that I hear more so now, they're not like, they're kind of hard to like say, I guess, to explain, but it's like there's just no filter. There's no filter, you know, and it doesn't bother me at all. I don't care
because it's just locker room
I say the
talk,
same
right?
thing, right? Yeah, it's locker room talk. It doesn't faze me whatsoever. But it's stuff that I wouldn't talk to my fiance about, you know. I wouldn't just go talk to my friends that are girls about and stuff like that. Otherwise, like I haven't really had it's not too different in that aspect. Like work is still work. Like I don't get treated any differently as far as that goes. Like, yeah, if there's something heavy, they're going to ask me first before they're going to ask one of the girls on the floor or something like that. But I would just say the language around me, definitely different. And like, as far as friendship goes, like, yeah, before I transitioned, being friends with a guy was obviously kind of like, hey, if I'm going to drink with you, it's not going anywhere, like anything, you know, like those kind of conversations were always had to be had. I ain't got to worry about that right now. Like, you know, like,
that's just so odd that like even can like male and female, like male guys and female just be friends? Is that ever a thing?
I mean, I think so for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, my fiance has tons of friends that are male, and yes, I'm trans, but I still have a lot of friends that are mostly most of my friends are still females, and they have friends that are males too. But there's still that, you know, if everybody's all out together kind of thing where you're with coworkers and stuff, you know, there's a little bit of a difference, I think, sometimes.
Okay. Well, after being in like a guy kitchen and a girl kitchen, which one do you prefer to be in?
Okay. It's freedom. I can say whatever I want to say and not have to worry about it. The talk, I would say the relationships I have, it's like if I ever fall with one of my friends, it's like when the guy's on the line, it's like literally like, bro, you suck. Like, you know, this is some bullshit, and then it's like, yeah, you suck too, and then it's like, all right, we're done. Right. You know, like it's over, it's squashed, it is what it is. Whereas before, it was always like, I'm gonna go tell Betty, and Betty's gonna go tell Cindy, and I'm like, God damn, like I just want to go. Yeah, like work was miserable, like geez.
Right.
So a question for you. So on the aggression type of deal, would you say you can feel the aggression between being a woman versus being a male?
When I first started hormones, and once again, this is just my story because T affects everybody differently.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of guys I know that it made them really calm, whereas for me it was the opposite. I was pretty crazy. My moods were up and down. Like there were days where I was like uncontrollably like crying, and then there was days where I was like super mad. Like the littlest thing would set me off. The girl that I dated when I transitioned, we would fight all the time, and it was mostly always my fault. I was pretty controlling. I was super insecure. There's like like a lot of crazy stuff.
Sounded like a dude.
So like my aggression, I definitely would get ticked off a lot easier. But as time has gone on, my body, my levels have, they've adapted and stuff. And now most people say I'm probably the most calm person that they know.
Yeah, you seem really
Yeah,
relaxed.
you
Yeah.
seem like really
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah.
And by the way, I got you. You got something right here. Other side.
Outside, yep.
Got you. Yep.
Well, I got a
I
question.
got gray hair, so.
I got a question. Since I'm fucking hungry as fuck, has your appetite changed at all?
Oh, I eat all day, every day. Yeah, and I used to work out. Well, I try to work out, but I eat nonstop. My
Okay.
appetite's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I ate a lot beforehand too. I think I just love food. I
Right.
just love food.
I hear that.
So, do you have a favorite food?
I actually probably Mexican is my favorite. Yeah, Mexican style food. You would think waffles, but
I was gonna
it's
say.
not. It's
He said,
not.
I've been
It's
repping
not.
waffles all day,
I eat
baby,
them all
but
the time.
ain't
I would say because you have Jay's waffle iron, so it's like, where did the love of like waffles come into play?
So I love chicken and waffles, and it's actually really random. Like,
Perfect remedy.
yeah, right before I lived in Texas for a while. Right before I moved to Texas, I went to a place here in Cleveland. It's called Soho, and I got their chicken and waffles. I was like, oh, it's so good. And then I moved to Texas and I couldn't find chicken and waffles. And I was like, man, this sucks.
In the
Like,
South?
yeah, like where I was at, like
That's
couldn't find good chicken and waffles. And I was
Wow.
like, this is blasphemy. And,
Sounds like blasphemy to me.
I was upset, and I just was like, man, I really want some chicken and waffles. And I started making, practicing at home making waffles. And then I was like, I can do waffles are so universal. You can do so much stuff
Man,
with
that's
waffles. And I started doing a bunch of different recipes, and then started practicing more and coming up with all kinds of random stuff.
Well, with that being said, would you ever think about, like, once you get a good foundation and enough money raised up, would you go back to that area of Texas where you couldn't really find no good chicken and waffles and maybe sell it there, bring a market to Texas? and it
Y'all
can be
need
great
this
for
in Texas. I'm bringing this to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually talked about relocating quite a bit. I loved being down south. Not that I have anything. I love Ohio. I love
Right.
Cleveland. But my fiance, we talked about going to Florida or the Carolinas or Texas and relocating if Jay's becomes something really big.
which part of Texas?
Houston.
Houston.
yeah.
Okay.
There you
I got
go.
an uncle down there, so
And Colorado. I loved Colorado.
I've never been there. I need to go.
I
I
wanna
need to
go
go.
so
I need to
bad.
go there so bad.
What's up? We could take a trip. That could be our podcast trip. We've been talking about it for a while.
Right.
Good
You
food in
talk about-
Colorado.
I'm ready to just,
Yeah.
to just book it, man.
Yeah.
We can like speak all these things into existence, but it's like we got to just get out there and just
All right,
start
so
doing
let's.
stuff.
Next year though, I'm gonna be going on a cruise this year.
We
when
might
is the
just
cruise?
exclude you.
Yeah.
November.
We gonna just go.
You're going
Come
on a
back from the
cruise
store.
in
Passport.
November.
Yes.
Why?
It's cold, isn't it?
Yeah,
It'll be-
exactly.
It'll be
Is it
cold here, but not in the Caribbean.
What are you
welcome.
running away from?
Are you getting married?
Nothing.
You should go in
Nothing.
December when it's actually snowing.
But November works too.
I think you're getting married. Are you getting
No,
married
we're
out
not
there?
getting married.
Are you
No.
sure?
Sure.
You mentioned it
Wait,
before.
you're not getting
No,
married?
You just
we're,
taking a
no,
cruise?
we're
When
getting married,
Yeah.
but we're not getting married on our cruise.
You know what?
Somebody said that though.
We're not going to talk
Yesterday.
about that on here.
Nice.
We're not going to do it. Shantae, I love you if you're listening.
No, yeah, that's dope though. So like, okay, so just to speak on confidence, your confidence to do what you do, Jay, where did it come from?
My support, my friends and family for sure. Anytime I've been in a tough spot in my life, whether it's finding a job, not having a place to live, anything like that with Jay's, I've been able to reach out and throw a line and get somebody to grab it right away. So I would say my friends and my family have come in clutch 150%.
Is there anybody you want to shout out as your biggest supporter? Or top two, maybe?
Yeah, I got a few. I would say obviously my family, all of them. My fiance Nick has been incredible. Words can't describe. My partners in Jay's. So there's 3 other people involved. So it's
Okay.
myself, my fiance Nick, my friend Amanda, and her partner TJ. So without them, Amanda is like, she's the one that makes this hat I'm wearing, this hoodie. She's constantly like, hey, did you call so-and-so? Hey, I got this lined up for you. TJ's in the back of the house with me, kicking it. And then most of my lizard family that I'm really close with, those guys as well, and my twist family. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
He has a community of people who support his dreams, and it's not just his family. So like, do you have any advice for people who want to like go into that industry of like food and wanting to be like a entrepreneur?
Yeah. I would say talk to people that are in that do it too. You know, like I immerse myself in the restaurant industry. You know, I talk to owners of restaurants. I get their feedback constantly, and then I make my product and I have my friends try it, and I just constantly network. Network is the biggest thing that you can do. You'll find places where you can do your dreams at. You'll find people that want to be a part of your dream, that want to finance you, that will cheer you on. Without networking, I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am today.
Nice.
Well, just if you need another cook, just ask the boys around now.
He probably is. He's way better than Jacob. we had the showdown already. Clearly, Gabe won.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So
What was it, the last time Jacob made like raw hamburgers?
Yeah, and I almost smacked him across his face.
Nah.
Raw hamburger.
I fucked up.
Couple times.
He rushes his process. He don't put no love in it. He gotta relax.
You gotta let it sit.
when you're eating food, you taste the love in it. If you take your time, that's why I'm like, okay, I'd rather have a home cooked love meal than just something processed.
I'm sorry.
What's on the menu for Jay's?
We got quite a few things.
Man, we're talking about food.
The most popular is called the Monty. It's a play off of Monte Cristo. So it's a blueberry French toast waffle with Swiss cheese, ham, turkey, honey mustard, and then a raspberry compote to dip it in, powdered sugar, and syrup on the side.
Oh shit!
Hold on. Slow it down.
Where are you gonna be at? Or, so you're a pop up. So is it like kind of spur of the moment, or you have it like set up like for the year? Or?
So right now we're working with a venue at the moment. We'll probably be doing a pop up every every second Saturday of the month at a place. I'm waiting for confirmation, so I won't mention it just yet. But we've done pop ups at like Play Cleveland and a couple of restaurants in Lakewood. We do raffle events, so like we just did one not that long ago where people could enter in to win a catered meal by us for up to like 10 people.
I think I shared it on our page.
I seen it. Yeah.
And one of my friends won, and so we did a little thing for her. We're pretty much just reaching out to places that'll let us use their facilities and going from there. It's kind of roll with the flow at the moment since we're all pretty much working nonstop and trying to find our footing.
Right.
So I definitely need to get your schedule because we have a reunion coming up, and I think you'd be a perfect suit for maybe like this pull up, advertise.
Right.
Because we don't really have like food for our
I don't
reunion,
think so. Not yet. Maybe.
Nothing.
So real quick before after you said locations, have you been to food truck?
Lakewood.
Yeah, what's it called? Food truck? Is it Tavern?
We just call it the food truck park.
Okay, yeah,
I don't know. Where
food
it
truck
is.
park. That's what it is.
I have not yet.
No.
Yeah. The hard part is because we don't actually have a tangible food truck. It tends to be a little difficult since we actually have to rent out the restaurants or like use their kitchens and stuff. But we've reached out to quite a few people. It's just getting a schedule down because, like I said, I have multiple other jobs and so do the other people that do this with us. So it's trying to find something where we can all sit down and be like, all right, this Saturday or this Sunday.
Yeah, if it's big bucks, we coming in. nothing measly.
Yeah, and then getting the product and everything. We buy all the product and then we have to transport it. And a lot of times with the kitchens, like we go in and we see the kitchen like briefly, but then when it comes down to game day, like making sure that the first one we did, all the outlets blew. We couldn't get the waffle irons to work. It was crazy. Like the first half hour, I was freaking out. I was like, there's the extension cord won't work, and so we're scrambling trying to figure out how to. We had 70 people like waiting to get waffles. I was like, this is gonna be tough.
See, but that experience though helped you out long term because like, okay, if it goes out, we got a backup plan. Go get the whatever we need just to adapt it in. Right. So adversity helped you. You were put in an adversity situation and you prevailed still.
Yeah. Oh, it happens every time. Every time it's fun. Yeah, it's something different, but it's great. I mean, and then at the end of the day, it's like we clean up and we're just like, we see everyone's feedback and it's probably one of the most rewarding feelings I've had. After that first pop up was probably one of the coolest feelings I've felt.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so
I got a question. So, Josh, with you transitioning and everything, what advice would you give to somebody that's 13 or 14, the younger generation, of how to approach a situation like that? Of where you
real quick, what age were you when you realized?
So when I decided to make the decision was like around 20, but when I started to question how I felt and like wonder if it was normal, it was probably closer to when I was about like 9, 10 was when I started thinking like, but it was shut down pretty fast. Like it was like fleeting almost because society says that's
what
not
I'm saying.
right.
Society makes like this age limit where it's like, you know, by this age, like you're not supposed to be like that.
Right.
But if I am who I am and I know, like,
Right.
why are you trying to make me feel unsure about myself? So, but no, advice for like somebody who wants to step up and just be like, this is who I am.
It's tough. I get this question actually a lot. A lot of my friends, when their children come to them, they will come to me and ask, and I kind of tell them the same thing, that it's it's a process. It's something that should involve, you know, therapy. It should be something heavily discussed, because once you start hormones, like, yes, you can stop hormones, but, you know, once you start taking your testosterone, or if it's, you know, estrogen, the process is to reverse that. It's also lengthy. And, you know, I try to tell, I've talked to classes before, doing like the classes and stuff, and I tell kids a lot, like, you want to be who you want to be, but you also have to, you know, understand that there's going to be discrimination. Like, the world's way more accepting today, obviously, than it ever has been. You know, when I first started transitioning, there was like, I went on YouTube and there was like a couple like main YouTube channels of people that transition, but now you can go on there and find
It's
like
a whole community.
It's a lot, right? So it's very accepting,
Yeah.
and I think that's fantastic. But I also think sometimes, you know, people should, when it comes to like children transitioning at such an early age, like you want to be there. Suicide rates for kids at such a young age, because they have to wait. You know, it's like this like devil's game almost. This like tough thing. You know, you don't want to start hormones and then realize later on that maybe, you know, you wanted to wait till you were older, or that it's not how you feel or something of the sort. You know, because maybe you're immersed in a community that's prevalent in it. You know, like,
Right.
you know, I have a situation, or I know of a situation right now where a child is surrounded by a lot of people that feel the same way as they do. And we're all like, well, are you sure you really feel that way? You know, and they keep going back and forth. And I was like, well, this is something you can't go back and forth on.
Exactly.
This is
Because
something that
really
you need
important.
to be. Yeah, this is something that's going to be life changing. You know, when I started transitioning, it was, okay, certain jobs are off the table. You know, I can't enlist. Like, you know, I can't.
Right.
You know, when it comes to having kids, it was, well, do I want to freeze my eggs, or do I just not want to have kids? You know, am I going to foster kids? Am I going to adopt? Like, all these questions. When it comes to, you know, work discrimination, how am I going to handle it? You know, when it came to relationships, like,
Right.
you know, dating women has been insane sometimes, like having to have those conversations, you know, and put myself out there, and then not even just me getting discrimination, but the people around me. You know, the girls I've dated also dealt with guys that were like, don't you want a real man, and like all this crazy stuff.
Here we go.
So like, yeah, so it's a lot, you know, and, you know, as the world progresses, hopefully it gets better, but
Hold on.
No,
Before you ask your
no,
question,
before that,
I wanted to ask
how about
you
this
a
thing?
question, because, you know, you are a T. Because most people who are heterosexual try to answer this question, and I don't feel like they have the right to. When do you feel like it is the proper age for somebody to really, like, you know, take control and take hormones?
I think it's tough. So for female to male like myself, we can transition and be what we say passable at like any age. Like, we can transition and I can grow my beard. I could, you know, I have my top surgery and I'm passable. Whereas male to female, it's a lot harder, because once you're an adult male, you know, your shoulders are broader, you know, you're a bigger guy sometimes.
Your bone mass is already set and all that stuff.
Your voice is already deep. To go through the electrolysis to get rid of the hair on your face, you know, it's a process. It can be painful. And it's noticeable, you know, growing facial hair, like it just grows.
Right.
It just grows. My voice cracks. I'm just going through puberty again. Like, so it's definitely tough. But I personally would say, you know, 16 and older, but life changes so much. Like, I've had people come to me that have asked about transitioning in their 20s and then have decided that it's not for them. So
Right.
it's, you know, it really is. I think that the best course would just be therapy, and, you know, really making sure that it's something that they want to
Or this is a better question too. Do you think hormones maybe should be treated like alcohol and like cigarettes, like how people have to wait till they're 21 to like get it? Do you think maybe hormones should be treated like that? Like, once you're at 21 and if you've been going through therapy, then you can like take the medicine, or no? Because sometimes people know like way before 21.
I would say sometimes people know way before 20, and then like just because of suicide rates and
right.
when kids have to deal with it in high school, like if you know, and
right.
I feel like, so most of the time for people to transition, like you have to go through therapy, but you have to go through a panel, so you actually have to. I'm not sure if it's so much like that anymore. It's been so long since I've transitioned, but for me, I went through a year of therapy, and then I sat in front of 4 therapists, and I had to go see a psychiatrist in order to just get a letter saying that, yes, I was able to transition. And then moving forward to get top surgery, even though it was 10 years later, like just a year ago, I had to go back and see a therapist again.
Get the hell
even
out
though I've
of
been
here.
on hormones for 10 years.
Get the hell just to make sure.
Just to make sure, right?
No, I'm trying to wonder, like, what questions are they asking you?
Yeah, like that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
like,
to me, like
how
if
can
you already started, like I'm not gonna go halfway just to stop.
It's like a money
I've been
grab.
doing this for 10 years. What do you mean? What have you been doing for 10? You've been a psychiatrist for 10 years? Are you sure you're evaluating me the right way?
Yeah. That's pretty much how that went. It was like, I was just like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like,
Yeah, we're with you. That don't make any sense at all.
But yeah, I had to go back, and then like, so anytime like even a name change, I had to have my doctor sign off on my name change form, and so moving forward, even after you start hormones, you still constantly have to go back and get some kind of letter from either a therapist, a psychiatrist, or a medical professional that says, yeah, this is okay.
I mean, I guess it's standard, but that's BS if you ask me.
You need approval to see how you feel.
20 years later, yes, I still feel the same way. Like,
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So if we're seeking approval, I'm just gonna make a post and ask social media how I should feel.
Right.
Right.
That makes sense.
And feeling of the same way, my girlfriend who loves the fact that you're on right now, she wanted me to ask you this question. She wants to know, because you were once, female, now male, were you a feminist then, and are you a feminist now? Like, because she's a feminist. So she wants me to ask you that question.
I mean, I wouldn't call myself like a feminist necessarily, but I mean, yes, I gravitate towards,
making sure that female rights are there and everything like that. Of course, yes.
All right. See, there you go, Jamie. I asked you a question.
For sure, yeah.
Because she's a feminist, like in the most utmost way.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Clifton knows firsthand. So it's like having a conversation. We just watched Jordan Peterson like try to like break down a conversation with a feminist, and it's like not to offend them, but like she wanted to like generalize his conversation and put him in a corner of like, oh, you're a male, this is your view, but like he was just speaking on a general sense, like to ask questions based off like data analysis and information that's been collected. So like, yeah, it's interesting just to hear the perspective of like somebody who is a feminist.
Right. Yeah. And my thing is, I think all that was exploited in that episode is like when you're an extremist, sometimes you shut down certain conversations or even thoughts, or ideas. And that's why it's never good to be an extremist with an ideology,
I feel that for sure. I mean, you can look at that in almost any aspect, conservative, liberal, feminist, anything like that. I mean, it's a point though that I like to mention with what you mentioned, not necessarily feminist or anything, but within the community though, the LGBT community, there is plenty of people though that are that are lesbians or that are other trans men or trans women or stuff like that actually are against people transitioning and stuff like that. So there's actually quite a bit of
how does that make sense?
Issues
inner turmoil.
Yeah, there's been like I've experienced it before with other trans men who, because I don't live stealth, I'm out and about. And
when you say stealth, what do you mean?
So stealth, nobody knows you're trans. So maybe like your very, very close, friends, relatives, obviously your partner probably, but
to the naked eye.
Would those people be considered like maybe conservative tees because like they like to keep to themselves?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I lived stealth for quite a while. When I was in Texas, I wasn't really out except for like to a few people that were trans men as well, because I was helping them with their journey. But I've had situations before where like, it was either a gay guy that was just like a gay male that was like, very, discriminative against me and saying like, oh, you just want to be a guy, blah, blah, blah. You need to go back to being a woman and stuff. And then there's I've encountered lesbians before that were like, you know, why are you trying to be like something you're not? Like, just be a girl, blah blah. And then I've also encountered trans men that are like, why are you living out in the open? So it's crazy because like the community is great. Don't get me wrong. You know, I feel at home there, but
that leads me to a great question. So, what are the dangers of living stealth versus being in the out? Because it sounds like there comes with a dangerous territory with living your life out loud. Like, what's the big difference you feel like? Being out versus stealth? Discrimination
for sure. Like when I was out before, like a couple of times at a couple of places I've worked at, you know, people, they find out word of mouth, you know, oh, guess what? And it's always frustrating because it's, you know, even to this day, like, yes, I live out, but at the same time, like, I still don't feel it appropriate for someone to just be like, by the way, did you know that Josh was, you know what I mean?
Like that competing on them, like, hey, just to let you know, even though you don't.
That's like some high school shit. Right. Like, honestly, that's like some, oh, did you know? Get the fuck. So, can I live? Can I live who I am?
People love gossip, though.
Yeah, they do. Because there shouldn't be nothing wrong with you living in the out. You shouldn't have any extra danger that any other T shouldn't even have in their life because you decide to live out or be one. And I just think that's crazy, you know what I mean? That's just not right. And the fact that you guys have inner turmoil like that, it just, I don't know, that's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's with discrimination, it's mostly just people that, you know, like I said, like they know and they decide to say your business or something like that. And it's
fucking dickheads.
It's just no one's place to say, you know, whether or not they're trans or whatever, unless they're really, you know, and like I said, even if they're open about it, it's still not
up to you to decide how the fuck I feel.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm always like, why do you care what's in between my legs, or why do you care about anything? Like, So it's funny because even with like my fiance, for example, like when we first started dating and she wanted to introduce me to her family, I'm like, she's like, well, can I tell them? And that's always like the big thing, like with people I've dated or just friends that I've met and stuff. And I'm like, I always prefer people to meet me first because I've been in many situations before where I've befriended somebody that is kind of actually anti-LGBT and they end up being like good friends with me, and then they find out later and they're like stunned.
I can't believe I fell for it.
Yeah, like stunned.
He said, I fell for it.
Like I tricked you.
That's how it goes. It's weird because
that makes no sense to me. Like, why?
It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's weird because I guess it's like that age gap of like the baby boomers. They don't accept change at all. They hate that we're so progressive right now, and they're like, we got to stand strong on what we think and how we feel. And it's like, no, you can feel how you feel.
People will never understand. Like, I don't understand like how they can look at the world nowadays and be like, it's a smack in the face. Like, the world is changing. People opinions change. We are more try to be more progressive, and it's like, why do certain people fight change so much? It's like I will never understand that.
It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah. Right. It's like. No.
Change is one of the hardest things to adapt to.
It is because it's uncomfortable, and a lot of people like being comfortable to what they've been given their whole life.
Your body automatically is going to reject something that's not comfortable. Right. It's going to automatically say, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. You know?
Just regardless of logic, it's like, no, first.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, any advice to anybody, because you spoke about it, people who are like kind of out there and like throw it out there to impede it to people. Any advice to those people that just like, you know, put themselves out there a little too much? Do you think they're looking for trouble, or what would you tell people who are like, you know, proud of who they are, but, you know, just a little too about it?
I don't know. I don't really see much of an issue with it at all. I think if somebody wants to be out there, they can be out there. I think just be safe and, you know, be cautious sometimes, you know, in your surroundings. Like, I will say, you know, if I'm in a gay bar or I'm in a place where I feel comfortable, like I'll be way more, I don't want to say flamboyant, but I'm definitely more comfortable with myself versus if I'm at a bar where it's mostly predominantly straight and it's kind of like a conservative area, I tend to have a bathroom buddy with me. You know, I have a bathroom buddy if I can, and, you know, I kind of watch a little bit more of my surroundings,
That's so terrible that you have to, like, monitor, not bad, but, like, you can't be yourself at a bar because some guy may have a predetermined thought about you. Like, as soon as he goes to the restroom, I'm about to beat him up. Like, it's because he's living his truth, and I'm still probably in the closet, don't want to come out.
Well, when the bathroom stuff started happening and everyone was losing their minds about that was like almost comical to an extent, because like I just want to pee. Like, I just
that's it.
All I care about it. I just gotta piss. Like, I just gotta piss. It sucks. Like, I don't. care like at all. Like I just want to go in the stall and use my thing and be out. Like wash my hands and out.
Right. I know a lot of places in like Lakewood and like more progressive cities, they like did away with like the signs. It's just like a bathroom. It's no go in and piss. You know?
Yeah. There's a lot of family or gender neutral bathrooms and stuff like that. Yeah, I will say there's the one time I went to a concert. It was Peabody's and I had to use the restroom and there was no door and I was like crap and I had to go. I drank like 17 PBRs and
Sounds like a good night for you.
Yeah, right. I had to.
Yeah, and
go.
There's a certain type of packer. It's called for terminology. So a packer it's like a flaccid, soft penis that a trans man can wear to mimic having a penis, and so that way like your clothes fit, you feel more masculine or however you want to look at having it, and so there's one you can actually pee with it, like you can stand and piss and it works just fine. Well, it takes a lot of practice because our bodies are not built for that. Like
I seen this like
funnel.
I seen this. It was almost like a funnel. Like I told my girl, I'm like, you probably get it for camping. Like basically, you just put it under there, you can pee like a guy, and you just stand up and just empty it. I'm like,
it's exactly what it is, except for there's just a fake penis around it. And so I was drunk though, so I can't control my flow, and I just started pissing all over myself. And I was like, I told my friends, like, I gotta go. Like I had just pissed all over myself. But like those instances, like having the support that I had, like they were like, no, of course, like we'll go. We're gonna leave. We'll go get fresh clothes, and we'll go find something else to do.
There you go.
I didn't just stand there with my pee pants. Everybody pees their pants.
Right. I was gonna say there's plenty of guys.
You ain't never watched Billy Madison,
right?
Billy Madison. If you're cool, you pee your pants.
Right. But those are just little nuances or situations that I know plenty of other trans guys that have gone through themselves where they've been in a sticky situation with a bathroom where they've had to go, or I've actually left places. I've had to leave and go somewhere else and then go back so that way I can use the restroom somewhere.
Well, I mean, I'd rather kind of be you than actually pee my pants. And, just being drunk. There's some dudes who just legit just piss their pants because they can't afford. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're that drunk. So
ain't that right?
At least you know what I mean.
That's
a good segue.
That's actually never happened to me.
Cap.
No cap.
Okay.
It's okay. We're not judging you, bro.
You woke up in a car that you didn't own. You telling me you never pissed your pants before?
I'm pretty sure.
Never pissed from a party, but I did have an incident where something else happened.
What?
That's not. You see, you just did not answer my question.
Okay, so look, I was in high school. I had the BGs. Had to go. Was at somebody's house that where we were hanging out at was like the bathroom was connected to the kitchen, so I couldn't go. I couldn't go there, bro. I couldn't. I was at people's houses that was different social levels than me. I couldn't blow up their bathroom when they were chilling in the kitchen.
Respectfully, I need to go. That's what I'm saying.
So I went to my uncle's house who lived down the street on the east side, Uncle John. I didn't make it. Let's just say.
I think I remember this story.
So let's just say I took a quick shower, didn't even get my hair wet because I didn't want to go back to my friend's house while your hair wet type shit.
I took a dump.
Had to put on his pants because my pants were fucked. Like it was bad. It was bad.
Hold on. So you were willingly able to go over there with different pants on, but not your hair wet?
Correct. Because the pants look similar to my pants.
How long were you gone?
Yeah, that's
10-15 minutes.
Wow, that's a quick one. Well, it was already out, I guess.
It's on his leg here. Just need to wash up.
Yeah, that was a quick clean.
Can't stand y'all.
Now, Jay, we found you on YouTube. Jacob was doing a really good job this week.
He sent me the videos.
So the two videos. So have you done? That was 9 years ago. Yeah. Have you done like episode 3? Is there
like
there's like
because I see you grew your beard out. You didn't like it at first.
No, I did not like it at first. There's I started a YouTube channel to track my progress, and I'm actually like really glad I did. It's all private, so Jacob was the only one that had the link, so that's why he was able to view it. But I have about 35 videos on there.
Do you?
So
wow, that's
I
amazing.
picked 2 that I felt were like.
So real
good.
quick, you want to give your YouTube a shout out?
Well, it's all private.
Also private. So you gotta like get approved to like.
Yeah, it's all
I'm sure there's people that listen to this right now that want to like follow you along your journey to see like, okay.
Yeah.
He can do it. I can do it.
Yeah, that first video, you missed your appointment, and it was just like, wow, this is like pre.
Oh yeah.
You know,
my voice was. It's funny because I do show it to people. You know, like I said, it's private, but like sometimes I'll get drunk and I'll be like, hey, you want to hear something crazy? It's a good party trick sometimes.
To the second episode, I was like, whoa! I was like, this is crazy. I was But I was like, this is beautiful, though. I'm glad that, again, you found your truth and you were able just to fully accept it. You were willing to document it, and you're helping out so many people out there who are following you on your private page. I'm happy for all of you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You were flexing your muscles. I'm like, you got bigger muscles than
Right,
Jacob.
Shots fired.
You need a regimen or something. Yeah.
Right. Help Jacob get together.
Yeah.
Right.
First, you gotta stop crapping your pants.
See, he already knows. He gets the vibe. Just
because I've hung out with him socially, so
so
he knows.
Yeah.
So real quick, Jacob, you want to give our social medias a shout out?
So, if you guys would like to listen to It's On Us podcast, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Our episodes go on Twitter with the link and Facebook with the actual media player. And you could also find our episodes on Apple, iHeart, and Spotify.
We on iHeart now.
Right.
It's
Subscribe, rate, like.
Yeah, all that shit. All that shit you do with your other
Email.
podcasts, do that with us.
Comment.
Email.
Yeah, you're on your phone anyway. You might as well just go do it.
Well.
So makes sense. All right. So any other questions we have for Jay?
Or not. Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. So besides,
oh, here we go. I know what to ask. How did we all get together? Is what you're about to ask.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, I mean, I know Jake, but how? I mean, you know, you
I'll
guys
go
are
first, I
related.
guess. Yeah, me.
You're like, yeah, we're related.
I'll get it out the way. So me and Jacob are related. That's my uncle. It's my mom's brother. But all together, I met all of these people through Jacob. They all went to high school with him. John. Yep. We said his name before the podcast, which we can't say on, because he is who he is.
Right.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so
why the Band-Aids there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You gonna call him SS?
There you go.
But yeah, Cliff.
Well, I mean, we all met in high school pretty much. I met, he lived around the corner from me since like 5-6 years old. We might be second or third cousins. We
Probably
still got to
so.
go up the family tree and find out. But anyway, outside of that, I met John, 10th grade. We had home class together and second period with like Mr. Hutlock and all that stuff. And I met Jacob through him. And during that time, I was throwing a lot of elbows. And Jacob, even though I barely knew him, was just like my elbow target. I was introduced to UFC, and yeah, that's how we grew a bond. Eventually, he got the wrath of my elbows to stop, and I was like, you know what, I'm done picking on you. I think you're a really good guy. Let's be friends. We've been friends ever since. And yeah, me and him used to work together. It was okay. And I used to talk about starting a podcast all the time because I used to get sick of like Stephen A. Smith and people who I used to watch every day and enjoy. But I'm like, they're literally giving the stuff that I think are already foreseen. So I was like, Jacob, one day maybe me and you can do this with a group of people or just us. And he got with these guys one day and they were like, if you're serious about it, let's all meet up. He scheduled a date. He came over coincidentally and boom.
Nice.
We made it happen.
So needless to say,
I'm the fucking glue.
okay, you're not.
That's what.
Definitely not good.
You just got to add that in there, huh?
I just had to add that in there one time.
Maybe a little tape. Maybe I don't know, but
Tape?
no, he had.
Dollar store tape.
It's crazy because he sent us videos of him and Leah actually doing like this type of interview stuff, and now it's like coming fruition for
Full-fledged,
you.
ain't it? 15 years ago.
Dude,
I remember those, man.
The funny part about those videos, you can find them on YouTube, the J and L show.
No, please don't follow
Yeah,
that.
do not look those up. I
But-
promise you.
But it was so funny because like that's when YouTube started to be real popular, and she had the idea, and at that time I already knew some stuff with cameras and stuff. So I'm like, let's try it. Leah, Dad has a tripod. We could try it in the basement. So we did too. Just was like, okay, never mind. We don't at that age. You don't have the knowledge that you do when you're older to really know how to approach it, or just when shit was starting to get hot on YouTube, you didn't know there was no formula. So we just did 2 episodes, kind of fucked off, and
Yeah, you guys were
Y'all were
like,
cracked out.
you guys were greater than
I was in
I'm gonna
middle
go watch
school.
these videos.
I was in middle school when we did these.
You're in middle school.
So Leah had to be in elementary school. So yeah, Johnny
Jesus.
Wilson days, North Shore.
You didn't even go there.
Yes, I did. How did
I was really crying, bro. Like crying when she made that pterodactyl chicken sound. Bro. I was
crazy.
dead.
Yeah, so collectively we all did meet. I actually met this guy because I was like always in ISA, so I met him coming from ISA.
So we were in the hallway.
All right.
I was walking from the industrial wing by the auto body. by the engine repair.
Emerald King High School. That's where we went to school. At.
And
I
I just
refused
met
to.
him.
I used to leave.
Just met him there, and we just remembered that we knew each other from playing football when we were younger. And I said I had my L's, and I said I had 2K, and we was like, well, let's play one day. Yeah. Just started picking him up, coming over my house.
I actually took his position in middle school. I didn't even know him like that. I'm just I need that.
Back
Watch
in Pee Wee
so,
football, he took my spot as backup center.
So it was like basically like stepbrothers in the middle of the hallway. Like, hey, you know this? Hey, you want to be best friends?
Yeah,
we just become best friends. It's kind of like that.
Pretty much.
Go do karate in the garage. All that. Yeah. So.
All right. So I have one more question. Seeing how our obsession for food. If you could pick, or if you had just one item to eat for the rest of your life, not cuisine, not like one item,
One actual thing. What would it be the rest of my life?
What would it be? That's all you get.
It's like pizza. Can I pick pizza?
Yeah, pizza.
But
how
many?
What kind of toppings?
See, I feel like that's cheating. You can get as many toppings as you want.
No, you gotta pick a certain topping.
I would say if I don't want to go crazy, I go pepperoni mushroom or just cheese. That's probably
just cheese. Who hurt you?
Well, I mean,
might be mine.
For the rest of my life, though. Oh man,
that's what I'm saying. The rest of your life, that's all you eat: cheese, pizza. Fuck that.
See, but if I put more toppings on, I can pick it off and make it different each time. So I'm kind of like cheating in that way.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll say like if you say pasta, you can put whatever kind of pasta. If you say pizza, whatever kind of pizza. But if you say cake, it can't just be whatever kind of cake. That's a lot of cake.
That's a lot of cake.
Don't pick yellow cake neither.
Yeah. I'd like to pick milk.
If I had to pick one thing to eat, it might be burgers.
Okay.
But it'd be Wagyu burgers, though.
Fancy.
Ooh. Yeah.
Luxury.
I'm going up there.
It's full circle.
It's a tie between me. I would say probably tacos. Because you can do like shrimp tacos, chicken tacos, beef tacos.
See, that's cheating. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a taco. It's like the pizza.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, burgers. You could have turkey burger. Well, I mean, you say Wagyu, but
Wagyu.
You could do barbecue sauce.
Right.
Onions,
sauce,
lettuce, tomato.
Sour cream
or
chicken.
Are we talking about burgers or tacos?
I put sour cream on a burger before.
What?
You're different.
Wait, what do you do?
So take bun, toast the bun.
Okay.
I put like weird shit. So, but like if I want to make like a Tex-Mex burger, like I'll season it like with cumin and shit like that.
Bruh.
Pepper jack cheese.
Spit it out.
Sour cream.
Sour cream on the bun? Like for mayo.
Yes.
He's giving us the whole formula. Like, this is how you do it.
Listen, you marinate the meat.
The Krabby Patty formula. What the fuck, bro?
Doing too much.
So wait. So are you saying sour cream for you, or
sour cream the rest of your life?
It's glizzies. We know what you eating for the rest of your life.
No, for me, rest of my life. Ooh, a big breakfast every day.
Okay, that's very.
That's a real broad. You say like French toast, eggs.
Eggs over easy, fried potatoes, biscuits and gravy.
He said one damn item, not meal.
He said meal.
What?
Jacob,
he said
item
one,
or meal.
He said item.
Item.
Shit.
If that's the case, I'm just gonna eat lunch the rest of my life.
Yeah, for real. I take it back. I'll eat breakfast. I'll eat breakfast the rest of my life. Yeah, fuck it.
Then,
one item, please.
One. Just what? Nashville hot chicken.
Okay.
Come on.
All that just to say Nashville hot chicken. God damn it.
Every breakfast item impossible.
It was so
Edit, delete it, clip it.
Question though, do you put sour cream in Nashville hot chicken?
No.
On his fries though.
No. Ranch is usually on fries.
Okay.
Another white substance.
I'm gonna go with.
Why do you have to say white
See,
substance?
it's coming out now.
Because I knew either what somebody would say.
No,
something
you
smart.
said it. I didn't say it.
I
Don't put that on me.
preemptively said it before anybody else could say the joke.
Hey, I can't see what's on your mind, man. That's all you. So that's fine.
It's okay, Joe.
Whatever.
Clifton, did you choose one?
I'm about to right now. I'm trying to get over his bullshit over there. Anyway,
This man said breakfast. Like that's very vague. Like,
Right.
all right.
I'm gonna do either largemouth bass or lobster tail with a lemon. I'm gonna stay healthy.
Okay.
Eat fish.
I do love fish.
Put some lemon on it. Naturally cooks it just in case. Be good.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
I'd pick waffles.
Yeah.
I'd pick my waffles.
Hey, I know.
Get my omega 10 and all that shit.
Put sour cream on it.
You really sticking with pizza after everything we said?
Yeah, he's a fan.
I was trying to get you to change it.
Extra cheese.
All right. So normally we give a quick gem. Clifton, you give us
But if Josh, if you want to drop your socials real quick, where we could find Jay's Waffle Iron.
Yeah, so you can find me. I have Facebook. All you gotta do is Google Jay's Waffle Iron on Facebook. I'll pop right up. And same thing with the Instagram. It's just us at Jay's Waffle Iron, or you can email us jayswaffleiron@gmail.com.
Nice.
You know what? And I love this quote right here from Margaret Chase Smith. It goes in tie with our episode. The right way is not always the popular and easy way. Standing for right when it is unpopular is a true test of moral character.
Ooh, that fits with
Spit
this
that
episode.
shit.
Heavy gem. Heavy
Spit
gem.
that shit.
There you go. This has been an episode of It's On Us. Again, make sure you guys follow us on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, or anywhere you listen to a podcast. And stay tuned for the next episode.
Thank you for coming on, Josh. We love this.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you,
Pride
guys.
Month. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Gang, gang.
And it's just like that.
Thank you for listening to IOU Podcast, where you can reach us on Spotify, Apple, Podbean, YouTube, and our Gmail is IOUPodcast440. And this has been a great episode with my boys, and stay tuned for next week, and God bless.